Hey, how's it going everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well and let's dive right into it. Alright, so we got some information regarding the very first community day of 2025 and it looks like it's going to be featuring the grass type starter Pokemon Sprigatito. And I'm really excited about this community day, mainly because it is a starter Pokemon, and those Pokemon tend to get really powerful with their community day moves, but also Niantic is going to be trying out something different with the community day paid ticket that I actually think is going to be a huge positive for Pokemon Go players. I mean, yeah, this is definitely going to be controversial. I think a lot of players are not going to be happy about this, but in my opinion, I think Niantic is making the right move for this one in-app purchase. So yeah, let's talk about the details for this community day, and then at the end of it, let me share my thoughts regarding everything Niantic is doing. January 2025 Community Day is going to be happening on January 5th at 2 o'clock p.m. local time, and it's going to go until 5 o'clock p.m. local time. Mark your calendars for this community day because it will actually be worth it. The featured Pokemon for this community day is going to be none other than the grass type starter Pokemon Sprigatito. You're going to have an increased shiny rate for Sprigatito that you find in the wild, as well as field research tasks, so that's something you should keep in mind if you want this particular shiny. Now, any Sprigatito that you fully evolve into Meowscarada is going to learn the attack Frenzy Plant, and this is very typical for every grass type starter that gets a community day. It's a very powerful charge attack that every single grass type needs to have. There's also going to be a paid special research ticket that you could buy in the web store or the in-game shop. It's actually going to cost $2 USD rather than $1, and it's going to award you with Sprigatito encounters that have a special background. And you're also going to get a bunch of premium items that's going to add up to a lot more than $2 worth. So this one might be worth it. I'll talk more about it later, but yeah, let's move on. Now, there's going to be a Community Day continued timed research reward, which is going to give you encounters with Sprigatito that has a special background. This is also something that's kind of new, and I'm really curious to see how it's going to pan out. And we're going to be getting the following event bonuses during this community day. There's going to be a double catch candy bonus for every Pokemon you catch. You're going to get 3 times the amount of Stardust for every Pokemon you catch, and you're going to have double the chance at getting Candy XL for every Pokemon you catch. Lure modules and incense are going to last for 3 hours, and yes, this excludes the daily adventure incense, and you're going to get additional encounters with snapshots. And you're also going to get 1 additional special trade, and every single one of your trades is going to cost 50% less Stardust. And then finally, there's going to be field research task rewards that's going to give you Sprigatito encounters, as well as Stardust and Great Balls, and a whole bunch more. Alright, so first let's get this out of the way. I really think the increase in price for the ticket is something that I know is going to be very controversial. I think a lot of players are not going to be happy about it, considering that for just $1, you did get a lot of value out of your ticket. But now that's going to be $2, and they're going to be increasing the value of the ticket, which, in my opinion, I feel like this is actually worth it because compared to the $1 ticket, which was already pretty decent value, this new ticket for $2 is going to be giving you way more than the original ticket. You're going to be getting yourself a premium raid pass, which in and of itself I feel like is pretty worth the increased price, but you're also going to be getting some additional counters with Sprigatito with the special background, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff that you typically would not get. I really like this. It's kind of like an upgraded version of the original ticket, but at the same time, it is a price increase. So you could totally tell what Niantic is trying to do here. They're trying to get more players to spend more money in the game, and this is definitely going to achieve that because there's going to be players out there who just naturally buy a ticket every single community day without thinking about it, and they're going to be spending $2 now rather than $1, and yeah, they're going to be getting a lot more, but they are essentially doubling up how much money they're giving Niantic on a monthly basis. So yeah, in a way, this is a very smart move on Niantic's part from a business point of view, but for players, it's going to be a mixed bag. Some players are going to be really happy about this considering the increased value, but other players are going to be very unhappy about this because they are essentially doubling the price of something that most players buy every single month anyway. But now that we talked about the ticket, let's talk about the Pokemon itself, Sprigatito. So I do think this Pokemon is going to see some significant improvements with Frenzy Plant. I'm specifically talking about its evolved form, Meowscarada. but it's still not going to be as good as other grass types. Unfortunately, this Pokemon does not have a Mega Evolution, which means it's going to pale in comparison to Mega Sceptile as well as Kartana. Those are still going to be the absolute best of the best grass types, but this Pokemon is going to be getting not just the Community Day move, but an additional new move. So it's definitely going to be interesting whether or not this Pokemon will have some significant play within PvP or within PvE scenarios. There is a possibility that this Pokemon could become one of the best grass type raid attackers, but it's also loaded with some really good grass types that are definitely going to compete for that top spot. So yeah, I really do not know how it's going to shake out, but at the very least, this is still a pretty decent community day, especially if you do not have yourself really good Kartanas. This could be a really great second option. And then of course with Mega Sceptile, it's really only going to be good as a Mega Evolution. Sceptile itself does deal a lot of DPS, but it's going to be incredibly squishy. I feel like this Pokemon, Meowscarada with Frenzy Plant, might actually be able to outperform it, but yeah, I don't know. I still think this is a good community day. It's definitely one that does have some gameplay relevance, and I do think you should go all out for this community day because it's a really decent Pokemon and there's a lot of stuff for you to go after. But yeah, with that said, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below in the comments. Are you looking forward to this community day? What are your thoughts regarding the price increase for the community day paid ticket? Definitely share all of your thoughts in the comments and let's have a great discussion. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And also don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way to do so is by joining my Patreon. If you become a paid Patreon member, you get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids in the friendship system, if you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And just so you know, I always prioritize my patrons when it comes to raid invites. That's something you should keep in mind. And then, if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you could do so by following me on social media. I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. My handle is @CountJinsula. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. And you will have access to some exclusive content. So yeah, that's going to be it. I'm Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one.